All right. So, uh, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome to my live unboxing of some new plants that I am excited to have. Very excited to have, in fact. So, I will wait here just another minute to see if anybody shows up. If not, I'll just get my little scissors and get it done because it is time to do it. And if I didn't show you where this came from, if you didn't notice or read the tag in the little thumbnail, hey Jennifer, you can see that it came from Tan from Florida, who has the site on eBay, Springwater Orchids, and I'm sure you're familiar with that site. So I went to their site. Well, I browse the site fairly often, frequently. But after the Miami show, Todd of Todd's Tropicals told me that he had got a plant there. Well, he had showed it on his channel and mentioned Tan had the plant, but uh, I didn't click in the two before. I haven't necessarily communicated with him one on one, but I have bought many plants from him over the years. So it wasn't until I was looking on eBay and then I saw this plant, I sort of tied it in. Um, so I don't know if I put it in the description that these are both Angrecoids. I may have, so I probably gave it away. But anywho, I'm just going to try to get this out without all of the peanuts spilling out. And wow, they both came out together, which is nice. So here's my plant. And well, anyway, I'm just going to get rid of this box. Okay, so here is my new plant. This is Plectrelminthus caudata, and this is an epiphytic orchid from Madagascar. You can see the roots. This is a Vanda type growing plant, epiphytic. Um, Let me just pull out the book and I'll read it to you what it says. Okay, well, somewhere. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Plectrelminthus is its own genus, of course. There's only one species, and this is the one that I just showed you here. Plectrelminthus was defined in 1938 by the naturalist and author Rafinesque, who was living in the States at the time. The Plectrelminthus name comes from plectron, which means spur, and helminthion, which means worm. Basically, it alludes to the spur, which on Plectrelminthus caudatus, the spur is is crooked. It's curved, and I'll try and show you a picture. But as you can see, the spur right here is curved. So that is Plectrelminthus. The orchid itself, it's maintained in warm, humid conditions with good light, likes plenty of air and good drainage. Prefers to be mounted or planted loosely in a basket with big chunks of bark or fast draining media, tree fern, um, so that it can get lots of water because it likes lots of water when it's actively growing, and then it can get the drainage so that its roots can dry off. Um, so mounting or just anything with good drainage in a pot with very loose media. And they do like to be suspended high in high light and high humidity for pretty much year round. And these do get large. So this looks like it can be, this would be a kiki, but they do bloom at a small age. So this is probably close to blooming size, I would say. What I plan on doing with this is I'm probably going to mount it for sure, or if I ever get one of those ceramic cylinders, just set it in and just put maybe some big lava rocks or something chunky or something like that. That would work perfectly for it. But right now, I'm inclined to mounting it. I've had one before that did well in a pot for a few years, but then after a while, it didn't do so well, and it was because of the drainage, I think, in the pot. And once it lost that ability to drain well, its roots, once its roots started rotting, they just rotted all the way. And the other thing that I got, oh, I forgot to mention, I showed you the flowers. They are fragrant. I believe they are fragrant, night fragrant. And the spike is pendant off of the plant. Um, the other species, the other plant that I got is another Angrecum. This is actually not an Angrecum. This is an Aeranthess, and I just happened to find this on their site as well. And you can see this is just a little plug or a little division. Actually, it's a little division that's been pulled off of a mother plant. So I'm probably just going to mount this as well. This Aeranthess. Let me see if I can find some information about this one. Aeranthess. Should have this already marked. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so this is this, of course, it's I said Madagascar, Comoro Islands. Uh, it's a miniature plant, epiphytic on moss covered trees at moderate altitudes. Um, has some of the longest flowers. It gets the way that it flowers is that it gets spikes from the nodes, and the spikes are pendant, and they're star-shaped white flowers that are fragrant, very ghost-like, almost transparent. But they are opaque, but they almost look transparent. And as long as the pendant spikes stay green, it can still flower from that spike, or it can get kikis, and then the kikis can flower. So it can be a very spectacular thing when it's in bloom. Professor, oh my God, my mother would love that, love to hear that. But yeah, this book is other than the Fred Hillerman book, which I have right here, but this is the Bible right here because this is Fred Hillerman's book, who was the original person who went to Madagascar and studied amongst the orchids in their habitat, and then he brought them back to the States and researched them and hybridized them in a home environment and lab, and he those results are in here on a lot of the Angrecoids. It's not as comprehensive as this. This is very comprehensive. It has every species up to date in this book. So this really doesn't. But I have to have them both because I really like this one because it's very old and it has original drawings that Fred Hillerman drew, showing the etymology and things like that. So that's pretty interesting. Anywho, that was my haul. I'm glad everybody that showed up is here. Again, both of them are Angrecoids from Madagascar, same family of orchids, both like lots of moisture at the roots. They like warmth. They this one Aeranthess like more shade. They like low light, more like a phalaenopsis. but they still like heat and lots of water at the roots year round. Although a little bit lessening in the winter, but they still like year round. These like higher light, some protection from the mid days of the sun. Hey, Nina, this is my new Plectrelminthus, and I know you have one too, I believe. So I had to get one when I saw Todd's, and so this is it. And this is my other one, which is Aeranthess antennophora. So that was my haul and my unboxing, and that's all I had to say for today. Yes, it was about time that I broke down and got another one, especially since the one that I had previously did so well for me. It really did well, and it was probably about the same size. I had it for a couple of years before it went downhill. Yeah, I'm glad you did too. It was nice to see you, and I surely was just getting ready to say bye to everybody. And like I said, I do have a an orchid that I is one of my favorite little dendrochilons. It's right over there, and I just noticed because it's tucked in that it had some spikes peeking out. That's my Karani. I'll probably do a little spotlight on that. But anyway, folks, that's all that I have for today. I will be in Chicago Saturday, so I won't be live. If I do go live, I'll be at the Chicago Botanical Gardens for a little while. After my dental appointment, I'm going straight up there and walking through the show, so I may go live then. And that's my weekend. I'll be back home Saturday night, but I'll be making a video tomorrow. So anyway, enjoy your orchids, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.